It's a lot of hypocrisy going on, man. And it's really hilarious how some of these Paige Bueckers fans are making her day about Caitlin Clark.
Paige Bueckers is making a bigger impact than Caitlin Clark ever did. That's what critics began claiming just minutes after UConn defeated the Nets. But are they seeing things correctly? Even though Clark wasn't playing in the game, she clearly occupied many minds during the national championship and set up a dramatic, storybook finale by being positioned against Bueckers.
Caitlin Clark was trending at #1 over Dawn Staley and Paige Bueckers for a little bit right after UConn won, right? I wouldn't even say a little bit. It had to be like a 2-hour run. But she was #1, right? Ring on Paige finger, no ring on Caitlin finger. And gonna put the little asterisk. Paige better than Caitlin, just in case Real forgot. We counting rings here.
The audience numbers tell a very different story, one that highlights just how influential Clark has been in women's basketball. If you've been questioning whether the post-Clark era can keep the momentum going, the statistics we're about to show could surprise you. Ready? Let's dive in.
And I love that. I love that she's not the player who's like, it's all about her. It's not. She's giving love and homage to those of us that have come before her. She shares the wealth with her teammates, and she doesn't have to do that. So I just don't, again, I don't know what the big deal is about the fact that Caitlin is getting a lot of love. She deserves that, and she's helped change this game.
The final score left no doubt. UConn 82, South Carolina 59. It wasn't merely a victory, it was a statement. The Huskies had thoroughly dominated the once mighty South Carolina in a championship showing that marked the pinnacle of Paige Bueckers' comeback. After sitting out an entire season due to an ACL tear that nearly derailed her college career, Bueckers had finally reached the pinnacle of basketball, standing under a shower of confetti with a trophy that symbolized all she had endured.
UConn Huskies defeated South Carolina 82-59 to win the national championship. Now, this is the 12th national title under Coach Geno Auriemma. This UConn team was kind of a prime example of peaking at the right moment because for the past 2 months, they have been absolutely unstoppable.
The win gave Geno Auriemma his 12th national championship, an accomplishment unmatched in college basketball. His coaching legacy, already legendary, now borders on mythical. On the court, players hugged, tears were shed, and the nets were ceremoniously cut.
This is the biggest big three, the most talented big three that I can remember in recent history. And these three just coming together, obviously with the role players around them, they have just looked like a well-oiled machine. They breezed through the tournament. I don't know if there was any close game that they had during this tournament, including the national championship game.
UConn's freshman sensation, Sarah Strong, turned in a breakout performance that signaled a promising future for the program. At the same time, Azzi Fudd completed her own inspiring comeback, playing key minutes after overcoming injury struggles similar to Bueckers and earning the Most Outstanding Player award.
Paige balled out in the tournament, and before this national championship game, she had a 30-point game, a 40-point game, and then another 30-point game. And Paige ended off the game with 17 points in this national championship game, but she also landed third on most points in the NCAA tournament. So she ended with 477 points. Now, Caitlin Clark holds this record at 492 points in 17 games played. And then Shamika Holzclaw, she has 479 points in 22 games played, and Paige scored 477 points in 22 games played. So she's third on that list. She is in great company, and she had a fantastic tournament.
Even as champagne was still being popped in the locker room, a storm was brewing online. The celebration had barely started when social media timelines exploded with a completely different story, not about honoring the Huskies' achievement, but framing it as fuel for a manufactured rivalry. Former NBA player Ethan Thomas was among the first to weigh in, posting, "When I asked why Paige Bueckers doesn't get the same hype as Caitlin Clark, many said she simply isn't as good or a generational talent. Well, she just won a championship, something Caitlin Clark hasn't done." So, do you still stand by that, or has your opinion changed?
Paige has more rings, than Caitlin Clark. I mean, made this whole day about Paige getting the ring over Caitlin Clark. It's crazy, man. Paige going out in a way that Caitlin couldn't. A national champion. That's the separator behind their legendary careers. Let's effing go.
Paige's moment quickly became a referendum on Caitlin Clark. Instead of focusing on Bueckers' masterful dismantling of South Carolina's defense or her leadership throughout the tournament, commentators and fans alike turned her achievement into ammunition in the ongoing debate over who deserves more attention, praise, and recognition.
On Paige finger, but no ring on Caitlin finger. Ring on Paige finger, no ring on your finger, Caitlin. I mean, they made it all about Caitlin, bro. Paige Bueckers, more rings than Caitlin Clark. Hey, man, this is crazy work.
The change happened almost instantly. One moment, fans were celebrating the climax of an inspiring comeback story. The next, they were swamped with hot takes, comparing two players who have each made huge contributions to women's basketball in their own ways. Suddenly, phrases like "moving the needle" dominated the conversation, with Bueckers' championship being used as the ultimate talking point.
At this point, I think Caitlin is Michael Jordan, because everybody is chasing her legacy. At least that's what the fans are making it seem like. It's just crazy to me how ESPN don't have Caitlin Clark as one of the best players in college or women's basketball. But for some reason, every women's basketball player is supposedly chasing her legacy.
On the court, everything was celebratory, a sharp contrast to the divisive and often harsh debates raging online. Players who had just achieved something historic suddenly saw their accomplishment reduced to just another data point in a debate they never asked to be involved in.
You do have some Caitlin Clark fans getting on Twitter as well and calling them out. I never heard of people putting down certain players for winning a natty until Caitlin Clark didn't win. That's a fact. Paige won a ring, but every tweet I see is about Caitlin. Levels. Why y'all bringing up Caitlin? It's crazy, man. It's crazy. Like, I don't understand it, man. UConn won it all, and all my timeline shows is Caitlin tears. Man, y'all can't celebrate something in peace.
Beneath all the hot takes and fiery Twitter threads lies something far more revealing: cold, hard data. While social media commentators insisted that Paige Bueckers was moving the needle more than Caitlin Clark, the TV ratings paint a very different picture. When you set aside opinions and examine the actual numbers, the difference in viewership between 2024 and 2025 isn't just clear, it's striking.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but everybody keeps telling me that Paige Bueckers is going to move the needle in the WNBA in the same way that Caitlin Clark did. Well, maybe she will, but I know one thing. In college, nah. That needle ain't moving. That needle didn't shiver compared to Caitlin Clark.
Let's dive into the numbers. The 2024 Final Four clash between Iowa and UConn attracted a staggering 14.2 million viewers. That's right, 14.2 million people tuned in to watch Caitlin Clark face Paige Bueckers and the Huskies in an unforgettable semifinal. That single game became a cultural moment, captivating both casual fans and hardcore basketball enthusiasts. Then came Clark's final game in the 2024 championship against South Carolina.
Some of the same people who didn't want people comparing Caitlin Clark to Paige and Juju, they're doing the same thing, man. It's really ridiculous. It's really ridiculous, man. They couldn't even allow Paige Bueckers to have her day.
Paige Bueckers' championship sparked hot takes online, but the real story is in the numbers. Caitlin Clark's 2024 games drew record-breaking viewership, showing her unmatched impact on women's basketball. Social media debates ignore that fans vote with their remotes, not likes. Both Clark and Bueckers are generational talents, but their college journeys were very different. Comparisons create unnecessary pressure, especially for Bueckers entering the WNBA. The real focus should be celebrating their skills, poise, and leadership. Women's basketball is in a golden era with multiple rising superstars. The win is in appreciating this unprecedented talent wave, not crowning a single player,